And I'll get started in a minute. Welcome everybody, say salams. Okay, now we're live. Just share this. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome everybody to our session today on Palestine and our children. So let me just share this in our event page if that's possible. Oh, it's actually midnight my time. It's perfect time. Actually, it is there. Awesome. I don't know how this works. Okay, assalamu alaikum everybody watching us on Facebook and everybody here. Welcome to this session today where inshallah we'll be talking about Palestine and our children, what are the challenges when looking at talking to our children or approaching this topic with our children, and how inshallah we can use it to strengthen us and make sure that it doesn't weaken our children, developing sort of a big victim mentality in them, which is, I feel like, a big danger, especially when it comes to things like that. But before I start, I would really love if everybody please say salams, introduce yourselves. Where are you joining from? Which country are you in? Walaikum assalam. What Sundus, right? What is your name? So please do say salams. Let me know where you're joining from. Walaikum assalam. Alina. Come on. Oh, I'm glad. Samina Shah. Okay, that's my cousin. Alhamdulillah. And inshallah, in half an hour, there's a sister, not half an hour, 20 minutes, inshallah, a sister from Gaza will be joining us as well. And she has inshallah, she will give us some real insights on what life is like for her and her family there living in Gaza. And she has a special message for our children, inshallah. So we'll start that soon. Walaikum assalam, Niyar. Walaikum assalam, Fatun from Toronto. Must be early there. This is like, yep, okay. Okay, everybody. So alhamdulillah, we have audience here on Zoom, on Facebook. So just trying to get my own head around things. Sorry about that. Walaikum assalam, Emaan from Malaysia. And we have Sister Farheen with us, not me, Ariba Farheen. Sister Farheen, who inshallah is gonna just help us if you have any issues. She will be assisting us today. Okay.
Everyone.
Okay, so let's talk about it. The reason, as I said, I thought this would be, this is a very important topic that we must be approaching, that we have to actually think about how we approach with children. Because what's happening in Palestine, of course, it's extremely devastating. And for many of the children, this might be the first time they come across it, or maybe it's the second time or the third time. And in fact, it goes deeper than just what's happening in Palestine. Palestine is just one part of the suffering of the Muslim Ummah today. Imagine what when it comes to a child growing up today, whether it's in the West or in the East, what does world look like to them when it comes to the Muslims? wherever they see left, right, center, east, west, they see Muslims in an, with injustice being done upon them, or in an oppressed position. Even in the Muslim majority countries, they see Muslims in, often like places like Syria, in a suffering state, right? They see Muslims in Uyghur, and the Muslims in Burma, the Muslims in Kashmir. And then in West, we see so much Islamophobia. Every now and then we hear about a horrific incident of Islamophobia. So what kind of mentality is that shaping in your child? What kind of image is that building in their mind of Muslims around the world? I don't know about you. I don't know if you grew up with that kind of, picture of Muslims all around the globe, not just in your country, but all around the globe. Maybe you grew up in a country where there was oppression of Muslims, right? But that was just your corner of the world. But now it's like everywhere that's happening. How does a Muslim child then see himself or herself in the world today? What I fear the danger is then developing this mentality of being victims. Well, we are just like beaten up everywhere. We are just oppressed everywhere, and there's nothing we can do about it. And often the attitude the child will obviously adopt is what they see their parents adopting. What happens to us? What happens to you when you see all this, just blow up on social media, and you see the devastation like we just saw of Palestine a couple of days ago, right? And what we see, what we feel is often sadness, right? I remember like oftentimes feeling completely, absolutely depressed. And the last war, but I just felt absolutely like depressed watching what was happening. And alhamdulillah, I have been, I have not been a person that who just watched it and then decided there. I've been part of Palestinian organizations here in Australia, fighting for justice and peace in Palestine, or not just organizing protests at the time of the war, but throughout the year, organizing events, raising awareness, and so on. So despite all that action, I just felt like completely, so depressed looking at the situation there. And so now imagine what happens to a child who sees one war, and maybe he sees you going, maybe you take some action, you go and join a protest or, do something. So they see, okay, like we are taking some action. Then a little while later, they see another one, and then nothing is changing. Nothing is changing. It's just oftentimes just getting worse and worse and worse. So what is that doing to the child? Do you see the danger of it? What we don't want, what I don't want, and I'm sure what you don't want, is your child to become that person who learns today that when I see injustice in the world, all I can do is sit and watch it on TV, on social media, and be like, oh, that's really sad. I wish the leaders could do something. I wish we had better leaders. I wish somebody would do something. We don't want our children to become that, or just feel sad watching it passively. Is this the kind of child you would want to raise? I don't think so, right? What I feel, often like we look at these situations, these horrible situations, and we feel like so helpless, what I can do. I want to tell you today what you can do as a mother or as a teacher. Very few people can do that in the world. And a huge role our children have to play in that. And that, I believe, is the right way to approach this topic with our children. It's not passively. We have to teach them to take action, no matter how small or big that action would be. And we have to talk to them about it. Don't hide this truth from the children, and then they find out. There are a number of reasons why it is critical to talk to our children about it. One, of course, to be aware of what's happening. Second, to be grateful for what the blessings that they have. The blessing alone of peace is a massive blessing. a huge blessing for our children, but they don't realize it. We are, the mothers there are crying for their children because they have lost their kids. They are worried about the life of their child living tomorrow or not. The mental health of their children has been like, I'm sure you have seen videos of completely shocked children. And the trauma that they're living through. And here, when we look in the West, what are our complaints? And I'm not trivializing that, but just compare that, right? Our complaints are, we're wasting too much time in front of a screen, not motivated to do anything. We have to tell our children about this conflict because they are needed to solve this conflict. They are the heroes of this conflict. The mother who has lost her child there, what she needs from you is not just your money. Yeah, maybe your charity now helps her. But what that mother needs from you is your child to be a great leader. Is your child to be the best at what they do. You owe them that. What's happening in Palestine is not just a test for them. It is a test for you, and it is a test for your children. What is the test for you? I hope, number one, it makes you more grateful to Allah for the blessings that Allah has blessed you with. And being grateful doesn't mean that I just say, thank you, Allah, for giving me life in a peaceful land, giving me money, giving me a home, giving me safety. No, that's the beginning of gratitude. Gratitude is not just saying thank you. Gratitude is using those things to draw closer to the one who gave you those things. Gratitude is using those things in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in the right way, for justice, for peace, for Islam. That's true gratitude, that I use my gifts, my ability to be the best I can be in this world, that I don't and if one side of the world, I'm seeing so much suffering, so much devastation, and I am sitting here on my couch and I'm like, whatever. How ungrateful is that? If I am sitting here thinking, well, but what can I do? I am so incapable. I can't do anything. Leaders should do something. Somebody, like a savior, will come. Like two things Muslim, not it's not just Muslims, it's everybody. Like two things generally people look for, like somebody else, maybe some leader or some government should do something about it, or like a savior will come and save us from this problem. I don't know, Mahdi will come and save us from this problem. No. Look at yourself. Look at our own selves. For me, the way I help Palestine, this is how I was feeling like so depressed about this whole thing last the war, but this is what I'm doing. Emaan power is for Palestine, is for Syria, is for Kashmir, for Uyghur Muslims, for Muslims all over the world. Because raising these children to be the best they can be, to be good, strong Muslims, successful Muslims in this world, that's the greatest gift we can give those people, those who are suffering right now. Charity that we give them, that's like what? That's like, a band-aid. That doesn't solve the problem. Our charity does not solve the problem. What solves their problem is your child. That mother who has lost her child, who's worried about the safety of her child, what she needs from you is your child to be the best. You don't have the choice to just sit there and say, well, if he's just an average kid, average Muslim, that's fine for me. Allah has blessed you, given you so much more, So much more has opened for you just because you live in a land of peace, no matter what your financial situation might be. There's so much knowledge open for you, so much opportunities open for you. If you stop questioning what you cannot do and start believing in what you are capable of doing to be the best mother, right? I've talked about this so many times. If Allah gave you this child, Allah does not make a mistake. And He doesn't do anything randomly. If Allah gave you this child, He knows that you are absolutely capable. He designed you to be absolutely capable to raise that child to be the best they can be. So this whole conflict and every other conflict in the world, don't hide that from the child. That just you're living in an easy world, just cruise away with your life, just relax and chill. This is the reality of the world you live in. And you have to be a hero in this world. You have to be your best. Allah blessed you with all this. Do you think this is just coincidence, just random, that child is suffering there and your child is like in a relaxed position here, alhamdulillah, learning, educating themselves? Absolutely not. This is by the design of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's a test Allah has given those children, and they are excelling in that test with their patience, with their gratitude, that even in so much suffering, we hear those people say, Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakeel. And what a failure it would be for us that even if in this situation, we are not remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are not racing towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even just going to our salah, we are struggling with it. Those people are praying in the masjids which have been bombarded, and we are like finding it hard to get up and go to our bathroom, a whole room, which we call bathroom, and we can have the exact temperature of water that we want and open it, do wudu, and we are finding it hard to struggle to do that. So tell your children about that. Remind them about that this could have been us. This could still be us tomorrow. So living an average, just continuing questioning ourselves, and I can't do anything. I'm like, what can I do? I'm just a loser. That's ingratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you are denying all the capabilities, all the immense blessings Allah gave you, and you're just saying, what can I do? I'm not good enough. Some leader should do something about it. You do the best in the position that you are in the community you are in the family you are in. Be the best mother that you can be. Raise the best child. Don't just raise an average child. Raise a strong Muslim leader who is going to be a force of good in this world. That's how you help the people of Palestine. And the Muslims suffering all over. This is not, these problems are going to keep popping up. This is not, even if tomorrow the problem of Palestine is solved, there will be some other suffering, some other way. And then you're going to be watching it like, what can I do? Know this and remind your children of this, that us living our life in gratitude. And remember what I said, gratitude is not just that I just say thank you, but I use that blessing of Allah and I race towards Allah. I be the best I can be, that I become a force of good in this world. That's gratitude. That's us helping Palestine. The world needs you. Children today, they don't value their time. They don't value their time because they don't value themselves. Like, what? I'm just an 8-year-old. I'm just a 10-year-old. I'm just a 12-year-old. What can I do? Maybe when I grow up, I'll do something. So then why not I just waste all of my time away? If they learn to value themselves, they will learn to value their time. And one of the best ways they're going to learn to value themselves is when they contribute to others, when they see the need for them in this world. What Palestine highlights for us is the need for these children. Umar radiallahu anhu was once sitting with the companions and he asked them, what is the wish? Like what would you wish for if you could wish for something from this world? And somebody said money, so I can give it in charity. Somebody said knowledge, so I can teach. And Umar radiallahu anhu said, I wish for men, so I can use them to serve Allah. That's the greatest resource. You get to raise a Muslim child. Raise him or raise her to be a strong Muslim leader. That's what you do. Communicate that to your child. Me parenting you, me helping you do your salah well, helping you excel in your Quran, understanding of the Quran, me helping you volunteer somewhere, me helping you in maths, me wanting you to be the best student at school is not just because I want you to go and get a good job and earn some money tomorrow. That's a really empty reason. Like, do you want me to work all this years and years just so I make some money later on? That's what leads people to emptiness later on in their life. I just worked so hard so I can make money. And then I have money and like, what do I do with that? Right? That's like really low intention. Give them a higher purpose. I want you to do really well at school because I want you to be a force of good in this world. A strong leader who helps the people of Palestine. So do better at school too, so that you are like, see that suffering. Alhamdulillah, you don't have that suffering, but that's the test for you now. Are you going to help them? Or are you going to just sit and watch? And the more you go in to sit and watch, the weaker you will yourself become, the more victim mentality you will develop. And same goes for you. Remember, your parenting is for the children of Palestine, for the mothers of Palestine. That's what I believe. For me, Emaan power is not just like, yeah, I have to teach, I'm teaching kids, but it's teaching kids to be leaders. So all these gazillion problems we see in the world, they can be the cure for those problems. That's the best thing I can give to the world. I could have, I absolutely had the choice. I would make alhamdulillah loads of money. I could have continued just making money, giving in charity. That was a band-aid. The cure is that child that we are raising to be leaders. So know that in your heart. That's my purpose. The more you see the suffering in Palestine, instead of demotivating you, it will motivate you. Instead of looking at it and just feeling sorry, you will feel strengthened by it. So like, yeah, I'm preparing my kid to be that strong leader who will help these people. I'm not just raising an average child to be just whatever, live an average life. I'm raising an extraordinary child who is going to make a difference. By the way, so many mothers, they themselves lower their expectation of their children, maybe seeing, the early teen years, right? And the challenges, but that's a challenge. Allah has sent you a challenge. Don't give up on your child. Don't give up on child. Most likely, the more that kid is rebelling, probably that's the strength in them. And that they are looking for something to belong to contribute to face a challenge. More they might be capable of being a leader. Especially the stubborn kids. Right? Imagine if they, their focus there, start focusing that stubbornness on, bringing good in the world. And the earlier we do that, the better, the easier it is that we focus them in contributing to good in this world. The later we do that, the harder it's going to be, of course, right? So, yeah, I hope that made sense. Inshallah. I've just, started talking. I haven't even been seeing the messages. So let me just take a second to read the chat here. I'm just checking also if Sister Jemana is here. Sister Jemana, if you are here, you can just raise your hand. So, inshallah, if she's not here. So some of you joined late, so I'll just let you know. So Sister Jemana is from Gaza, and inshallah, she will be joining us. So one of the things I wanted to share with you today is, alhamdulillah, I made contact with somebody in Gaza. And what I was thinking was, one of the ways, this is a very tiny, small way, inshallah, because I've been teaching a course of the seed course, Humble Your Heart. Some of you might be part of it. Some of you might have heard about it. And of course, part of that course is trying to help the orphans. So I thought, what could be the project they could do? And given the situation in Palestine, I thought, how about we write letters? Get the kids to write letters of support, of love, just to show their kindness, that they are with them, to the children of Palestine. And alhamdulillah, I made contact with this sister, Sister Jumana, who lives in Gaza. And she's going to, inshallah, she has a network of volunteers with her. So they're going to distribute these letters to children in Palestine. And she herself, inshallah, when she joins, she will tell you herself. But she was telling me herself that when she was a kid, she used to get some letters from people outside, and they were so special to her that she still has them till this day. She said she couldn't even read them because they were in other languages, but she still has them with her. So they mean so much to those children, and especially the children who have gone through this right now, lost their homes or lost their parents. So I'm just so grateful to Allah that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala opened this opportunity for us, and it became so easy, and we found her, and she's happy to collaborate and help us in doing that. So, and alhamdulillah, what a great opportunity for our children here, that they get to reach out to these children and offer some helps to them. Just share some of their heart, some of their love with them, just through some words, right? So this is the opportunity. This was for Humble Your Heart students, but I'm just opening it up for everybody. If you have kids, no matter what age they're 5 or 15 or 20, or if you would yourself like to write a letter, write it and send it to me at support@emanpower.com. Inshallah, we're gonna put all the letters together, and we're gonna translate them in Arabic so kids can actually read them. There, and we're gonna send them to the children in Palestine. And inshallah, if Allah makes it easier for us, then we might even get some pictures and so on from kids who read these letters. So inshallah, Sister Jumana will be here shortly and share more about her experience living in Gaza under these circumstances with us. Let me just check in case I have. Yep, I have given her the wrong link. See, I thought so. So just give me a second. I'm just going to invite her in. And alhamdulillah, inshallah, we'll get to hear from her. In the meanwhile, anybody has any comments or thoughts they would like to share? Emaan said, then we have to really try our best to consume our times throughout our lives, to use our times wisely throughout our lives. Yeah, mashallah. Emaan has been my student, and mashallah, he was part of Rising Heroes, and he and his team worked on racism. They were the Racism Rangers last year, and everybody was taught. And this is the thing, these issues come up, what's happening in Palestine comes up, and we all protest and talk about it, and petitions are going out, and you're making dua. But once the war is over, then what happens? most people move on, right? You know, it might not even be, maybe for some people it's still on your du'as, but most people like forget about it, right? You're not like continuously making an effort towards it. And then again you hear that something has happened, there is a conflict, and then again, but by that time it's already really late. It's war now, right? Now we are protesting when it's already really late. So our efforts need to be continuous for this. And this is what I'm saying, that one of the ways your effort can be continuous is in how you live your life. Okay, assalamu alaikum, Sister Jumana, alhamdulillah, she's here.
Walaikum assalam. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
I am actually pleased to be here. Thank you for supporting us and standing up for the Palestinian cause.
My pleasure. It's like, alhamdulillah, I'm so glad that we could get together and I could find you. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us an opportunity to do something, to do, even if it's small, very tiny, but in whatever way we can help. So if I'll just maybe ask you some questions to facilitate the discussion. So if you could begin by telling us more about just your life in general there, even in the times when there is no war.
Okay. Well, first of all, this is Jumana Abu Nahla, living in Gaza, working as a translator and as English teacher for children at a Salam Center. Our life in Gaza, it's really difficult. Gaza Strip is one of the most populated areas in the world, with almost 2 million Palestinians live in 40 kilometers. Is one of the worst place actually to live. It is called the world's large open air prison, and that's for a reason, of course. Gaza has been home for a majority of refugee since 1948. I am myself a refugee from Yibna in Palestine, and it is now for Israel. 80% of the population is dependent on aid because there's no jobs here, and it is no surprise that half of the households here lack of the food for their families. Water also is a huge problem, with more than 90% of it is unsafe for drinking. You can imagine how is that. There are also a power outage. It is after every war things goes worse. So now it is only 4 hours a day of power, and that's it. For decades, Israel controlled Gaza, air, land, sea, regulating what goes in and what goes out. As I was talking to you about the impossibility of getting the letters in, like the real one, through the Israeli checkpoints, because they will consider it as supporting the terrorism, which is unfair and injustice. Yeah, it is like a collective punishment. Being living in Gaza is like a punishment, because they close all the borders. We have 2 borders, Egyptian border and the Israeli border, and none of them you can get out of it. Yeah.
SubhanAllah. I mean, that's a situation like this is extremely painful, and like just thinking about it, just seeing the pictures like rips our heart, and it's just unbearable to watch. I don't know how. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you strength, and He has given you all strength to bear such circumstances with such great patience that, mashallah, you are still smiling.
Of course, this is our weapon. Actually, they don't want us to smile, and they don't want us to live a normal life. Why they are doing this? Because they want us to fit up and like immigrate to anywhere. But this is what will never happen.
Mm. So you have never thought about leaving Gaza or your
Actually,
family?
no. Actually, I was planning to study abroad and go back to Gaza, but it was also impossible, or almost impossible.
Mm.
It needs a lot of efforts, and you need to have an Israeli permission, and it is hard to get an Israeli permission to leave Gaza.
Mm.
But to leave it forever, no, it is not an option.
Mm.
Because we live here, I was born here, and actually I want, like my grandfather wants to go back to his home in Yibna, but it sounds like impossible to go there. But we are living in Palestine now, and that's fine. It is better than Jews who are taking it, and the settlers, the extremist settlers, to take it and steal it. Is our weight of resistance to stay here and to stay strong.
Ya, subhanAllah, this is an immense sacrifice that
Yes.
you people are making for the Ummah, for the entire Muslim Ummah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you for, like, this is the biggest sacrifice with your lives, with your children, with your family, to be there for that land. May Allah reward you immensely for it.
Thank you.
So generally, like, there was a war right now, and mashallah, seeing the pictures of now of kids smiling and celebrating in the rubble, subhanallah, I mean, that's, and here, watching all that is really depressing, to see that, and we feel so helpless in so many ways. People go to protest and try to voice that, but very little impact it makes, if any. But really, it's very inspiring, especially now watching those smiling pictures of children, that even in this such dark time, they have managed to find this smile and this joy in small things, mashallah. What would you say to people watching you right now in the West, in the East, wherever, all over the world? Mashallah, we have people from America, from Canada, from UK, from Middle East as well. What would you like to say to them, that what should we do, or what is your message for them?
Okay, first, thank you all for supporting the Palestinian cause. And second, it is the social media that like made things clearer than ever, because back in time in 2014 and in 2012 and 2008 wars, we were like the terrorists because of the media. But now the West media, of course, who is against Palestinians. But now, because we were able to deliver our message and our voices and the real truth, the world was like
Yeah.
awaken for the truth, and that's fine. But now they are trying to silence all that, and they will adopt with this social media thing, and they will try to silence us for, like, by
Any
deleting our,
means, yeah.
yeah, deleting the contents that we are posting,
Yeah.
by showing them as a sensitive, even if it's information, as a sensitive content. They are trying to do whatever they can just to manipulate the truth. So
Mm.
please educate yourself about Palestine, educate yourself about what is going on here right now in Sheikh Jarrah and in Silwan, in East Jerusalem. They are trying to make another catastrophe. There are 7,800 Palestinians is now are threatened to forcefully leave their homes by the Israeli government. So we need you to not stop posting and
Mm.
raising awareness about Palestine, because that's what they are doing. They are delaying the court resolutions till the people forget about Palestine and forget about this cause and about the war and go back to their normal life, where they are making another ethnically cleansing attempt. So please don't stop posting about Palestine. That's what we need. Raise awareness about Palestine and keep posting. And yeah, inshallah, we will never leave, and we live stronger for our Palestinian cause.
Yeah, mashallah. Yeah, and that's just something I was talking about just before you came as well, that people start voicing their opinions and sharing all this when there is a war, or we hear about some absolute, like, disaster happened there. But that's often like too late. We really need to be acting before the war, after the war. It's not that the injustice there stops after the war. Maybe the war stops, but the injustice there, the oppression there has not stopped. It dies down from people's minds, and people move on in their lives and so on, until they hear again about some conflict happen at Al-Aqsa or war. But this is something really important, that don't stop now, that the war has, they call the ceasefire, but the conflict hasn't finished, the injustice hasn't finished. And it will happen again if we quiet down now and we forget about it. It will just keep happening again and again. So I personally feel like if we are only voicing ourselves during the protest, that's already too late. Many people are now going to die.
Actually, it is better to do anything rather than nothing. So
Yeah,
what you are doing is
it's good, but it's already still like we have to be more proactive for this issue. And so many others, and mashallah, like Palestinian people are an absolute inspiration for the world, that every day you are living your life in a struggle and striving with patience. And here, for somebody to sit here in the West or in the East with the blessing of just living in a land of peace, and then complain and say, well, what can I do? I cannot do anything. I mean, I feel like that's really great injustice. Everybody, alhamdulillah, Allah has blessed us with so much more power, ability than we realize. We have to do our best to whatever way we can, to live the best life we can, to raise our children in a way that, mashallah, look at the Palestinian mothers making so much effort to raising these children in such difficult times, to raise their children in the right way so they can also be part of the answer, and educate them about that. And that's part of what we are doing with this letter campaign as well, getting the children to write to Palestinian children, to connect with them, to connect with their plight, so they don't forget about them, and they share their love, that that you are all our mind, you are in our hearts, you are in our duas constantly. So, and you were talking about how as a child you used to get these letters and they were special to you. If you can talk more about that.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I received so many letters from around the world, but specifically from Japan. And like they were distributed to the top 3 in the class. So I was studying hard to be one of the top 3 just to get these letters.
Oh, mashallah.
And they were in Japanese, and I don't understand Japanese, but you can see the love and the like how special these letters are, because they are from outside Gaza. It is maybe you can't feel this, but here in Gaza we don't have any any other cultures. Like we are not exposed to world cultures, so to see something when came from another place is something like meaningful to us. I could feel the love and the support from these letters. Maybe it sounds small to you, but it makes a huge difference in a children's life. It is a gate of hope,
Yeah.
since the children, as I said, from Gaza are cut off from the world, and they are not exposed to any other cultures. So let your kids express their support in any way. Let them talk about their own country. Let them talk about their traditions, even in English. You don't have to translate them, because maybe later, I still have one of them actually here. It is 15 years old now.
Oh,
So
mashallah.
yeah, uh, it is, as I said, a gate of hope. Like to see someone is thinking about you and supporting you. It is a lot actually.
Alhamdulillah. I'm so grateful that we found you, and we can, Allah opens our door to be able to make that impact and bring that little joy to a child there. That's like a
Inshallah.
huge blessing, alhamdulillah, a great opportunity for us. So jazakallah khair really for helping us achieve this mission. May Allah reward you immensely
It
for
is my
being
pleasure.
the
It is my pleasure.
jazakallah
Thank
khair.
you for
And that
thank
was
you for
very
your
inspirational, that you said, how much it means to children. And yeah, may Allah reward you immensely for it. So I hope, inshallah, the listeners and those who will come and watch this recording later on as well, that, just write from your heart. It doesn't have to be the right and wrong, right? Get the kids to write and just share your love. Don't overthink it. Like, what should I say? Just share your love and tell them that that you are with them, and make dua for them. And this is a golden opportunity, really. I feel like so blessed that Allah has opened this for us, alhamdulillah. And we found Sister Jumana. It's like, mashallah, like she really believes and she really understands how impactful this can be for children, alhamdulillah.
Yes, of course.
So would anybody like to ask any questions to Sister Jumana, or do you have any comments, anything to show your support for her? And would anybody like to say anything or ask anything? Feel free to type it in the chat box, in the comments. Where do you send the letters? I'll just explain that. You can send them at support@emanpower.com. So inshallah, you just send it, and we'll endeavor to translate it if we need to, inshallah. And she has, mashallah, volunteered to do that. Yeah, Emaan has a question. Emaan is in Malaysia.
What questions can we ask? Can we sit to ask questions?
What would you like to ask?
Can he only does it only have to be something general?
What do you want to ask? Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I'll ask.
Do you have a question in mind, Emaan? Emaan, do you have a question in mind? Okay, you can type. Okay. I think he's typing. Okay, Sister Tasneem said, we support you from South Africa. We are hosting protest every week. We have pledged to keep going until Palestine is free. We won't stop until you are free, inshallah. Inshallah, Ameen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us strength and give you strength to keep going until Palestine is free, and make that day come soon, very soon, inshallah. So Tasneem, so it is heartbreaking, but at the same time, so humbling listening to Sister Jomana, truly inspiring. May Allah reward you for your beautiful spirit, your sabr, and your perseverance. This is, okay, also lots of comments here on Facebook, I see that. It shows all against this Zionist notion. Not sure what was that. Some action has been taken due to the protest. However, it's the leaders that are corrupt. This, I feel like, Sister Nabila, like just blaming it on the leaders, that I find is more of an excuse that common Muslim people make. It's it's easy to just say, well, the leaders are corrupt, what can we do? What you did with the protest was some action. What I'm saying is that is not enough. And that's far from enough, especially you living a very comfortable life in the West. That's far from enough. What you need to do, if you really care about the freedom of Palestine, if you care about the oppression of the people of Palestine and so many other Muslim communities all over the world, the Muslims in China, the Muslim in Kashmir, the Muslim in Burma, then there has to be a lot more done by you. You have to raise your child to be a leader. You have to raise yourself, make sure you are constantly contributing and not just living a life of like, what can I do? Leaders are corrupt, they need to do something. Take responsibility for what you can do, what Allah has made you capable of. Look at these people, mashallah, the Palestinian people are an inspiration every day, living with strength, with sabr, persevering in these circumstances. When you are standing on the day of judgment, Sister Jamana is standing next to you, how would you look at your life? That she spent her day sacrificing every day. And what was your life like compared to hers? That I only, like, alhamdulillah, you stood up for protest. If you hadn't even done, then like, shame on us. But that's doesn't stop there. Let's not forget that this suffering doesn't stop here. Our actions cannot stop here. So lots of comments about the conflict. Everyone needs to do what they can to do in their vicinity. As God will ask each individual, what did you do that was in your capacity to do? Sister Sadiqa said, Assalamu alaikum, sister from Gaza. You are such an inspiration for our Emaan and strength. You people are the strongest of mankind living right now. We will support you all the way. Rabia said, may Allah give us strength and courage to face everything. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. Jazakallah khair, everybody. Sorry, I missed all those comments on we're streaming live on Facebook as well. So I missed all that feedback there. So Jazakallah khair, everybody, for joining us today. And, really this is a small step that it's an opportunity for our children that I hope that you will participate in and write those letters, and inshallah we'll endeavor to get them to kids. Sister Noor said Allah will help them and give them strength in their mind as can defeat our enemy. Inshallah, best prayer for Palestine. Assalamu alaikum from Dubai, from Farha. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Okay. Okay, Jazakallah khair. Any last words, Sister Jamana? Anything you would like to say before we end? I think. Sorry, I don't know if are you speaking? Yeah, sorry. I think audio issues, technical difficulties, everybody. Sorry about that. I can't hear you. Okay, no worry. You can't hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, you can hear me. Okay. Okay, no worries. Well, she's having some audio issues, guys. So think we'll wrap up. I'm sure she wants to say that I'm sure she appreciates your support and she would really look forward to getting those letters. Right? So make sure you do that. Okay, last one I will read. Assalamu alaikum, dear Jumana from Gaza. I pray may Allah give you strength and wisdom to feel your pain. We are with you. We love you from Spain. Alina, Jazakallah khair. Alina is from India. Jazakallah khair for this beautiful meeting. May Allah help you all defeat the enemies. May Allah bring peace to you all. We all offered tahajjud recently all over the world, mashallah. Continue it. Don't stop on that tahajjud. That's like, it's so easy. It's such an easy thing we can do is every night to pray tahajjud to make dua for people in Palestine. So let's not pause that. Inshallah. Okay, Jazakallah khair, Sister Jumana, for your time. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate what you're doing, distributing these letters as well. And it was really short notice. I asked Sister Jumana if she could join us, and she was very kind enough to dedicate her time in such short notice. So I really appreciate that. And your words, mashallah, were truly very inspirational. So may Allah reward you immensely, immensely for it and give you and your family and all the people of Gaza strength and perseverance and victory over your enemies, all our enemies. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. We look forward to getting your letters. Don't forget them. So by Friday, if everybody can please send the letters by Friday, you have 2 days. So send them by Friday. Okay, assalamu alaikum.